You have those 2 Super Bowl victories. And that's what everybody comes back to with Eli Manning. Well, he got those 2 Super Bowl victories. Absolutely. Does that make him a Hall of Famer? I'm not a voter, but I think that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has 2 Super Bowls. Let's say Eli had 1 Super Bowl. Is he a Hall of Famer? The answer is no. Is Eli just a more tenured version of Joe Flacco? I mean, Joe Flacco's got 1. Joe Flacco has got this same quarterback rating as Eli. Nobody's going to say that Joe Flacco's a Hall of Famer. If Joe Flacco had 2 Super Bowls, Joe Flacco's a Hall of Famer. Like, is it that narrow? Because it feels that way. Eli's got 2. Hey, he's got 2 Super Bowls. Here's another one I heard yesterday. He's always available. What does that mean? Okay, so you can get into the Hall of Fame if you're a good guy.
It helps.
It shouldn't help.
John Smoltz deserves to get in the Hall of Fame. John Smoltz gets helped.
That's baseball.
Yes.
Football does not factor in off the field. Mm-hmm. That's what it's supposed to, right. According to the voting criteria.
I mean, T.O. got passed over by guys that weren't nearly as good as him.
Okay, but that's when I have to call out the voters to say, guys, this isn't about your personality off the field. Off the field. Now, was Chris Carter a bad teammate? It took him a while to get in. Did they factor in his personality? I'm guessing they did. Lawrence Taylor, did they factor in his personality off the field? T.O., did they factor in his personality off the... Like, Eli gets extra credit for being extra nice. Hey, you made my job easier. That's not how we pick and choose Hall of Famers. It should be, here is player A and player B. Or let me compare Eli to his constituents. Now, where does he rank? Was he ever the best quarterback? No. Was he ever one of the top 5 quarterbacks? No. Top 10? Maybe. Couple of Pro Bowls. He led the league in interception 3 times. And that's the only category he ever led the NFL in. I like Eli, but I'm not voting on this. I do like him, but that doesn't mean, boy, I got to vote him in. There are guys I don't like, but I still go, you got to put that guy in, whatever Hall of Fame it is. I mean, I don't like, well, I don't need to go down the list of people I don't like, but I still have to look at you in the body of work. And what did you do? What is your resume? Not, hey, you were nice to me. I don't agree with Curt Schilling's politics. I think he's a whack job with some of the things he says. But I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. And should we look at what you do for the totality of your career? Not just on 2 Sundays in February, Eli was great. 8 hours, he was great. Because there's never been a time, I don't think, in the regular season where you said, gotta watch Eli. I got to tune into the Giants. How many? He was rarely I don't know if he was ever the best player on his team. And once again, I like him as a person, but I separate that. I have to look at you like Jim Plunkett. I like Jim Plunkett. He won 2 Super Bowls. He's got a great story. I'm sure he was available. Nobody's talking about Jim Plunkett. And Jim Plunkett was the same kind of quarterback that Eli was. Number 1 pick. Jim won a Heisman. Had the story his parents were blind. He went to a bad Patriots team, and then he goes to the Raiders. And I factor in that Eli was healthy. He played, and it's hard to do that. So do I factor that in, that you show up every Sunday? Yeah. Is Eli a Hall of Famer? I have no idea. Would I vote for him? Probably so, because quarterbacks, and I don't know who came up with the rules, but that's how we measure greatness, that you win. Is Bart Starr a Hall of Famer? Not with his numbers, but he won a couple of championships. Is Bob Greasy a Hall of Famer? Not by his numbers, but he led a team that went undefeated. Like, it's weird how we pick and choose. And we'll do that with Eli Manning. But I don't need to hear, he was available. I don't know what that means.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.